Something big is happening in crypto and the pieces are moving fast. The Chicago Board Options Exchange, or CBOE for short, just filed for 4 new XRP ETFs, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious. The market has been cooling off, yet institutions are quietly positioning themselves for something bigger. Why now? And why XRP? I'll tell you, these aren't the moves of a market that's actually dying or just about to enter a bear. These are the moves of insiders who already know what's coming. And it's not just Wall Street making plays behind the scenes. And when you look at CBOE, it's quite impressive the volume they do. Not only do they do all of this other volume, but they even do $71.88 billion of daily exchange volume on the US equities market, which means they transact in trillions upon trillions of dollars per year. And when you add XRP to that mix, it's going to provide a lot more liquidity, which will ultimately lead to some really big price moves. And so this explains why Brad Garlinghouse just broke silence, and what he shared speaks volume. A literal clock like this on the news of the CBOE filing for these XRP spot ETFs, because he knows what's coming. Meanwhile, the CFTC is making moves that could shake up the entire crypto industry as well. They just announced a CEO forum to discuss launching a digital assets market pilot program. But here's what's interesting. This initiative has nothing to do with the SEC. The CFTC is stepping in at the exact moment the SEC has lost all control. If they take the reins on crypto regulation, XRP's entire legal battle will flip overnight. And this explains why David Schwartz was recently seen, who is the CTO over at Ripple, at the live CoinDesk and Ondo conference. Now, when you look at Ondo and their business model, they will be providing infrastructure for real world assets and asset tokenization. And they're doing this in partnership now with Ripple. And then what happens next could shock everyone. There's a reason Ripple is expanding. There's a reason certain people are getting louder, and there's a reason why institutions are lining up before the dust even settles. Either way, this is all leading to something much bigger than just some price moves. The crypto industry is shifting. The power players are using this volatility and the local lows to reposition, and some people are going to be completely blindsided. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's happening, why certain players are making moves right now, and how this all ties back into the XRP token. So stick around, because once this all plays out, there's literally no going back. And as always, my friend, before we begin the video, if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Hello and welcome back to the channel, Bull Runners. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and you can find me on Twitter or X at PauliDeFi, PauliDeFi. Brad Garlinghouse did share what some might think is a cryptic message, but ultimately it really just comes down to the fact that he wholeheartedly believes that the XRP spot ETFs are on their way. When you have a major player like the CBOE filing 19B4 forms to list and trade these XRP ETFs for several issuers. And when you look at the issuers, you can see that they're seeking approval to list for Wisdom Tree, Bitwise, 21 Shares, and Canary Capital, all companies that have already filed for spot ETFs. And the reason for this is because all 4 applicants lean heavily on July 2023's partial victory in the ongoing SEC versus Ripple Labs case, which we all know is basically done. And that's what caused the price to pump from about 48 cents all the way up to $3.40 for a local new all-time high. And so in this, a major exchange like the CBOE said they believe it is applying proper legal standards in making a good faith determination that XRP is not under these circumstances a security under federal law. So that's why they're being so bold as to do this, because these companies want to get ahead, and CBOE wants a lot of that exchange volume because they know what's coming. They know the amount of demand that their investors have for XRP. Think about it. If you could not invest in XRP in a regulated manner, and then you continue to call the CBOE SIBO and you continue to complain that they don't offer XRP, when you get enough of that, the SIBO is going to say, man, there's some serious demand here. We need to double down and get ahead of the curve. And so when all the institutional adoption really does enter XRP and the crypto space, you're also going to have all sorts of really interesting and unique use cases using the RLUSD stablecoin and using asset tokenization technologies in partnership with Ondo. And so right here we have the CTO David Schwartz sharing a bit over at CoinDesk Live.
I feel like we really are on the cusp of a mass institutional adoption, both of DeFi and of other blockchain technologies. I think this is also like one of the key obstacles to mass retail adoption. A lot of people in the space previously thought that retail adoption was like the big wave, but I think institutional adoption is a precursor. You have to connect to where people are. You have to go to where the value is. You can't build a new financial system from zero, ignoring the existing financial system where everybody's money is, where all the value is, where the real world is, trillions of dollars in value. You can't just say, oh, forget about all that, let's just build something new over here. It doesn't work. And so I think this wave of institutional adoption over the next year or two is going to be what's going to pave the way for mass retail adoption. And then we can deliver on those promises. Like, we all want to bank the unbanked, but like the unbanked, like they have to be able to spend their money to buy groceries and pay their phone bill, and so we have to have that institutional connectivity. And I don't think there are any obstacles. I think that's and I think this conference shows that.
And so Ripple and the team are on the right track. They know go where the money is, which is why they've always been aiming to work with banks and institutions to service everyone else, because that's where all the money is. The problem was that SEC lawsuit and battle. But now that that's basically over, they have officially partnered with Ondo Finance, which is one of the best in class when it comes to real world asset tokenization. And as you can see here, they just announced a platform to bring US stocks, bonds, and ETFs on chain, and they're doing it on the XRP. Now combine this with the fact that Senator Bill Hagerty introduced legislation to establish clear regulatory frameworks for crypto stablecoins. And just under the launch of the RLUSD stablecoin and the fact that USDT is going to be delisted from platforms like Coinbase and Kraken and any other major exchange inside of Europe and then in the United States, because they do not comply with clear regulatory frameworks and guidelines, and their audits, although they say are third party, can never actually be verified. One of the only stablecoins that can is the RLUSD stablecoin, which now has a license. I just pressed the button there. Now has a license in New York to operate in a regulated manner. And so recently, Cointelegraph just announced that the US, in discussing this bill to regulate stablecoins, will impose a 2-year ban on those backed solely by self-issued digital assets. We learned the hard way when it came to all of these major crypto company collapses in 2022. In other words, they can't issue their own token and then sit on that token and say that is how we're backing our stablecoin. Instead, they would actually need to hold other assets for stability. And the Treasury is tasked with assessing their risk to establish a regulatory framework for market stability and security. And here is that bill. And in the final major piece of news, the CFTC announced the CEO Forum to launch digital asset markets. The pilot program is for tokenized non-cash collateral such as stablecoins. Interesting that when we look at stablecoins, not only will Circle be involved, Coinbase, Crypto.com, MoonPay, but also Ripple right here, which I should highlight in green. Now, the acting chairman, Caroline Pham, just said the CFTC is committed to responsible innovation, and they want to engage with market participants to ensure that America leads the way on economic opportunity. What this means is that essentially we are in the clear to operate using stablecoins inside of the United States, which means Ripple is going to get a lot of traction with their stablecoin that is regulated, considering they are one of the key players working directly with the CFTC. And when you get all this other news surrounding the SIBO and asset tokenization with partnerships in Ondo, this time truly is different. XRP, although it has been struggling to break for new all-time highs recently due to the market environment, is also holding up a heck of a lot better than the rest of the market, currently sitting at about $2.44 at the time of this recording. While everything else is down pretty tremendously, it has held its range quite strong, which leads me to believe that these investors truly know something is coming. And yes, XRP is highly likely to break for new all-time highs into April and May of this year. So with that said, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash the subscribe button and also head on over to bullrunners.com if you want a lot of updates that are even better than the one that you just watched, with all sorts of crypto education courses and classes. We provide the right tools, training, and resources to help you hit your goal and maybe potentially become a crypto millionaire in 2025. If that's your goal, we want to help you to do it. That said, we can't make any guarantees, but here's how good this community is. We have over 1,200 members that are actually paying to be here. And the reason they're paying to be here is because we have expert curated classes into the tune of 100+ hours. We have live calls with pros where we teach you everything from fundamental analysis to technical analysis. Our pros share with you altcoin picks and DeFi yields that can 5x, 10x, or even 50x sometimes your money. I'm not guaranteeing that, but we've seen those types of results. And we have plenty of community members that are actually really stoked to be here, and we'll share that with you as well. So that said, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by simply checking it out. And the sooner you check it out, the sooner you can take advantage of all of the stuff we share on the back end into the rest of the bull market, because every single day that you wait, you could be missing out on the next altcoin pick or the next play that we share. You could miss out on some of the education that will help you to make a life-changing decision with your portfolio. So go to bullrunners.com, click that link below, watch this 26-minute video, and then you're free to make whatever decision you like. Thanks so much for watching the video, my friend. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.